What's up everyone? Today I'm going to be going over the story about how I lost my purple Sparkle Time fedora on my old account Liquify. So a long time ago, back in like 2012, I believe trading was pretty new back then. I think that's actually the year trading started. I used to play a lot of Trade Hangout. I used to spend a lot of times in the forums as well. My favorite forum was Let's Make a Deal. We usually just called it LMAD, LMAD for short. And we even wore t-shirts for LMAD. I think some people still wear it to this day actually. I miss those old days. But anyway, I made this account named Liquify back in 2011, around the same time trading started. I did a ton of trading, did a ton of forum posting. I was posting every day, so many times a day. I was still in middle school at the time, and I remember even during school I was just like on my phone a lot, and I was just always thinking about like trading. I was like obsessed with trading. I'd be checking my trades all the time, accepting, declining, countering. I'd be checking the forums all the time, keeping in touch with all the other LMatters out there. And I think even my grades kind of took a hit for it. That's how obsessed I was with trading. I think I was able to manage to get around 30,000 posts in the LMAD section of the forums. I'm not really sure if people still remember me from back then, but I used to be really connected with a lot of the big traders back then, and some of them still trade to this day. I just don't know if they remember me because of what ended up happening to my account. So a little backstory, I did start playing Roblox in mid-2009. I was in elementary school at the time, and it was one of my friends named Zach at school. He had just told me about this game, and he said it's Roblox, and he said something about like, hey, the characters are made of bricks, and you could play paintball and stuff. And I remember just imagining this character made out of brick like on a wall and playing paintball, and I thought it was an interesting concept. Also, I think I remember thinking that he said it was Robo-blocks, so I imagined that maybe the characters were like robots plus bricks or something. I'm not really sure. And my first account I ever made was Robo-blocks09 because that's what I thought the site was called, Robo-blocks. I don't know how I misread it, but I did. And after that I moved to BlocksKid265, which I used for quite a while, and then eventually I did move to Liquify in 2011, like I said. As I said before, I was so obsessed with trading. I built myself from the ground up. I was always trying to upgrade my items into something bigger, downgrade into a bunch of other items, upgrade again to make profit every time. You usually made the most profit in downgrades, and then you'd basically upgrade for an item and then take some of that profit, keep it for yourself, trade less items for the same item or a different item, etc. It was a whole cycle. Back then we also didn't have Rollimans like we do today. We didn't have set in stone values. That's something I actually really don't like anymore because it does make trading an entirely different game, honestly. Because no matter what you do, if you go into a game and try to trade somebody, they're just gonna already know the value, and then there's literally like no negotiating whatsoever. It's very hard to add any like skill to trading these days. Back then you had to be an expert negotiator to be able to trade, or somebody who was really good at sharking people, which there were a lot of those back then. So my dream item for I think the entire time I was trading was always the purple Sparkle Time fedora. Back then there were like 3 Sparkle Times that were all really sought after. Those were like the big items. Dominuses were also big, but Sparkle Times were every trader's dream hats. We had the yellow Sparkle Time fedora, which was the classic. We had the red Sparkle Time fedora and the purple. At the time I believe the original Sparkle Time fedora was worth the most because it was the original. It did have like way more copies than the other two, but since it was the original, it was worth more at the time. Purple was the second in line, and then red was the third. Times have definitely changed on that. So I grinded for so long to try to get that purple Sparkle Time fedora, and I finally ended up getting it after I think at least a year of trading. So I'd say around 2012 I got it, and I think I owned it for at least a month or so. Then I ended up downgrading it. That was my mistake. I ended up downgrading it because I got a little sick of it, I guess, and I wanted to try something else out, wear some different limited items. And then I remember purple Sparkle Time fedora ended up like taking off after that. I didn't even have enough value to get it back again. So after a few months I started to really want to get it back again because I saw it going up, and I actually started to miss wearing it. So basically I had to start back on that goal to grind and get that purple Sparkle Time fedora. So I did. I worked hard. I downgraded. I upgraded. I spent so much time on the forums, made a lot of friends, spent a lot of time in Trade Hangout doing trades. But finally around October 2013, I finally achieved the right items to be able to get that purple Sparkle Time fedora again. I remember negotiating for at least a few hours with somebody on the LMAD forums. So the items I managed to get were the blue steel fedora, the peach thug shades, and some other items. I forget what they were because it's been so long. But I remember after hours of negotiating, I finally sent this guy the trade. I was just waiting on him to accept it. He was pondering on it. He made a few forums asking people what they thought of the trade. And then there was this leak that came out on Twitter that I remember seeing. There was some kind of sale event coming up soon. Roblox was going to host it. They were going to release new items. Bright Eyes at the time was the leader of all of the items that were released, all the limited items at least. So being my rebellious teenage self, I decided to mess around with Bright Eyes a little. I remember going to her profile, hitting message, and then sending her a message about,
haha, I know what item's coming out,
or something like that. And I forget exactly what I said, but she said some kind of sarcastic remark, and then I think I replied with some more sarcasm. And the next thing you know, I'm just browsing Roblox like normal, and then a few minutes later I click another page, and then it says that I had a 3-day ban. And I remember I was devastated because I had that purple Sparkle Time fedora trade pending, and I was so looking forward to getting it. And I remember feeling so impatient. I just wanted that purple Sparkle Time again so bad. I just could hardly wait for it, and 3 days seemed like forever to me. That was 3 days of school I had to go to and think about it every single day without being able to do any trading or anything. I remember on the 3rd day, I finally got close to getting my account back, and I was really pumped and excited. And then I logged in close to the time it was supposed to be unbanned, and it said account deleted. It didn't even give me a message why. It just said account deleted and said nothing else. I think it might have said your behavior is not tolerated on Roblox or something very generic and not very specific at all. I was devastated. I remember crying. I remember being so sad after all that hard work I'd put into it, all the money I spent on Builders Club, and every day I spent trading and negotiating and thinking about trading. It was just so much. I remember I emailed Roblox probably way too many times, which probably didn't help me at all, but every single time I emailed them, they just said, sorry, we can't help you. There's nothing we could do. And every single time it was like a shot to the heart. I remember just thinking what did I do to deserve this? All I did was message an administrator about an item leak. I was just making a joke about it. I understand maybe a warning for it, but even the 3-day ban seemed a little excessive for it in my opinion, but a termination. So after that, I ended up taking a 3-year break off of Roblox. And then in 2016, I ended up finally coming back. And I remember I had a lot of friends who would call me by the nickname Lick, L-I-Q. And I remember just wanting to have the same nickname again because that's what I was used to, and I liked being called Lick for some reason. So I decided to come up with the name Liquate. It had a nice ring to it. It was a simple one-word name, which is something I like. Easy to remember. And so that's how Liquate was born. And ever since then, my favorite Sparkle Time fedora is now Black Sparkle Time fedora, which didn't exist back then. But if I could get another Sparkle Time fedora, purple would still be my second, and I would do anything to get my Liquify account back. I wouldn't be changing my YouTube channel to Liquify. I wouldn't be switching to that account, but I would love to have the purple Sparkle Time back. I'd put it on my Liquate account, and I'd be keeping my Liquify account forever for memories and all that nostalgic reasons. That's honestly just a dream. I don't think there's any chance I'd get it back after almost 10 years. Also, I think one lesson I learned from losing my purple Sparkle Time fedora and eventually not being able to get back again is to always hold on to my black Sparkle Time fedora since it's my favorite hat. I don't plan to ever trade it, and I've been holding on tightly to it for a long time now. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much the end of the story. If you have any questions about it or any opinions on the matter, let me know in the comments below. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Thank you guys for tuning into this little Roblox story time. I hope you enjoyed it. And also guys, if you'd like me to make any more story time videos about my past experiences on Roblox or anything like that, just let me know in the comments below what you think, and I'll catch you in the next one.